This is another example of why we need to be careful at just looking at freezing points of brines. They're very misleading. In this case, we need to be aware of a couple things. The agricultural and organic additives that are commonly used in deicers often behave as what we call cryoprotectants. Cryoprotectants are a class of chemicals that will inhibit the freezing of water. These are chemicals that occur naturally. They occur in certain Arctic types of fish and plant life where they have evolved to keep the fluids in the body from freezing at low temperatures. They're also commercially well-known products. There are food-grade cryoprotectants that, for example, are used in things like ice cream. When you store your ice cream in the freezer for a long period of time, you don't want big ice crystals forming. And so cryoprotectant additives are used to keep it smooth and creamy. And we need to be aware of the effect that this has when we put these kinds of additives into a deicer, because cryoprotectants do not work the same way as ice melters work. Remember that an ice melter works by lowering the freezing point of water. Cryoprotectants work not primarily by lowering the freezing point of water, but by slowing down the freezing process when it occurs. And the result of this is that these types of additives tend to fool the freezing point test. They're not changing the true freezing point of water, they're just preventing us from seeing it because it slows it down so much. How do we measure the freezing point of deicer liquids? There is a standard ASTM test that is used, and what we do is we measure a cooling curve. So I'm going to show you how these organic additives affect the freezing of these liquids. So this is a freezing point test on a typical chloride brine where we measure the cooling curve. So you stick a solution of the brine in a cooling bath and you watch the temperature change with time. If you've got a really well-behaved system that's got a well-defined freezing point, what you see is the temperature of the liquid will drop steadily, and then notice there's a very abrupt break where the temperature suddenly levels off. This abrupt break in the cooling curve is a very accurate way to measure the freezing point. Now watch what happens if I take the same brine and I blend it with an agricultural additive. The red line is now my cooling curve of this brine with 25% of an agricultural additive. Note that I've completely erased that breaking point, that plateau. If you submit a sample like this to an independent lab and have them run the freezing point, they will look at this data that the lab I submitted it to said it's got a freezing point of -35. So they look at this curve and they say, okay, where is that break occurring? And they try and figure out where that break's occurring. But I challenge you to look at this curve and tell me that there's an obvious break down here as opposed to anywhere else. What we're really seeing is a typical cryoprotectant effect. It's basically masking the well-defined freezing point by slowing down the freezing process. So we can get misleadingly low predictions of the eutectic or the freezing point depression by these types of additives. So this shows you full freezing point curve of a plain mag chloride brine with no additive with the red line, and the same brine with 25% of the ag additive in the blue line. Note that my straight mag chloride brine's got a very well-defined freezing point curve and a nicely defined eutectic.